One conversation I had today that was interesting was this idea of art is not inherently subversive, and no one is inherently trying to make subversive art. Well, people are, but the reason art ends up being subversive is as a process of trying to make good art. And part of that is just like, if you're trying to make good art, you're also trying to be like, this is a thing that I've made that no one else has made before, right? And in a way, innovation itself is sort of a subversive process. Like any kind of new tech disrupts previous tech, right? So the idea of art, no one's sitting down and making subversive art. No one's trying to make subversive art. No one's, well, I mean, people are, but like the way that art is most often subversive is just people trying to say, here's this thing that's new. If you hear the monomyth 1,000 times, the hero's journey, eventually you're going to say, what if instead of, returning to the world with the things that he's found, instead the hero, stays in the world. Ooh, mind blown. Now we have a whole other genre, right? What if we swap the point 8 and point 9 of the monomyth? It's a whole new world. But I mean, that's the subversion. That's the subversion at work. That's the subversive element that we view. So that's an interesting thought, partially because here's some more things to think about. What does it mean if everybody is subversive? What are you doing if you're trying to be, if you're making good art and good art is subversive and everybody's subversive, then what does that mean? Think about that. And another thing for you to think about maybe is just this idea that subversive art, you don't necessarily have to make subversive art. You don't necessarily have to set out creating subversive art. But if the subversion happens as a process of making the art, as a part of making the art, maybe you shouldn't shy away from it. Because art has been changing throughout, the history, thousands of years and stuff. And imagine what would happen if people always shied away from subversion. But also imagine what would happen if people always leaned into subversion, right? Subversion, like irony, or like, edginess. All of that's just a tool. It's a tool in your toolbox. And, if you treat them like tools, then they can be useful to you. If they use you like the tool, then you are useful to it. Ha!